What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new deck profile for Link Evolution made by request. Spellbooks are something I've grown to hate from my time in Duel Links back then, but ironically those matchups helped me learn how to play this deck in Link Evolution. I wasn't sure if this was the right way to play the deck, but I did end up winning a lot and forcing a lot of surrenders, so I stuck with it. This is the Spellbook Stun variant, meaning that the only real Spellbook monster you will use is the Blue Boy Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Outside of him, you have High Priestess of Prophecy and World of Prophecy, both high-level spellcasters, which will be the targets for Magician Souls. World of Prophecy is the much better target for Souls since you can revive it with Spellbook of Life and trigger its effect while Priestess can special summon itself from the hand. There are loads of other Spellbook monsters that help out the other variant of this deck, but for now I decided to stick with the easier version to start with. This version is all about controlling your opponent with Spellbook of Fate, Potential Back Row, and Jogan the Spiritualist, who prevents special summoning entirely. Quick disclaimer, this deck can be toxic as you might expect, as locking special summons and then disrupting everything else with Fate can force surrenders quite easily. Jogan is the monster you want to see as soon as possible. While his stats are weak, I am running Power to Guardians, which is another hilarious card to see here. If you can't keep it on him, he is pretty much indestructible except to spells and traps that don't destroy, or normal summon monsters with certain effects. Spellbook of Fate and Spellbook of Wisdom are the other two cards to protect them, so you want to eventually search those cards as needed. The goal is to smother your opponent as expected until your direct attack pokes start to settle in to obtain lethal, or your opponent surrenders from a mental breakdown. Resource management is very important in this deck and is probably the core focus, as Fate is required to banish Spellbook spells from the grave to activate, meaning you have to maintain a constant flow of those spells moving. Spellbook of Eternity is good for getting back some of those banished spells, and you can also use Spellbook of Master to use some spell effects twice, as long as you fulfill its requirement. I usually like to search in the order of Secrets, Master, Fate, Knowledge, and if you already have one of those cards you can search Wisdom or Eternity, depending on the scenario. Your first search should always be Secrets or Blue Boy unless you have both already. While it was nice to see Jogan in the opening hand, he would have been destroyed quite easily since we didn't have anything to protect him except our equip spell, which would have been popped by Twin Twisters. Thankfully, Blue Boy can search on flip, so we can get rolling again with Jogan and the spells next turn. Predaplants rely on special summoning pretty heavily from what I can tell, so Jogan hitting the field next turn will definitely be amazing. He can also destroy all special summon monsters by discarding a card, so the second copy will be put to use. With Power to Guardians, your monster can be destroyed by battle technically, since it'll get a counter for you to remove. Using Fate probably would have been a good idea here, but I was concerned with a potential threat next turn. Had I done so, I could have gotten an easy counter for the equip to start beefing up Jogan. Spoiler alert, I did get him to around 3000 attack in one duel, so it is good to have. It's a simple deck to learn, but I hope you guys enjoy the replays. Stay tuned for the next video, make sure to catch the streams on Sundays and Mondays as always.